We are on air.
We are on air.
I'm putting on airs.
I'm gonna put on airs real quick if you don't mind.
Just gonna put on some air real quick if you don't mind.
On air.
I'll be like,
wow, it's like dead air.
Do insist.
I'm just wearing my Air Jordans.
You're on air, Jordans.
I'm wearing
Previously,
my on Air Force Ones. Oops.
On our adventures in the world of The Witcher, a tense standoff with Pardus of Korath erupted into chaos as the group fought to rescue Ambrose and stop Pardus from escaping. I realize now that those two names are too similar to be in the same sentence. Seizing the moment, luckily they don't have to be anymore. Seizing the moment, Kilton charged on his warhorse and struck Pardus down with a single killing blow. And now the townsfolk gather round, hailing the savior of Saints Crossing. You all find yourself here on the main street of Saints Crossing. Kilton, you are the star of the show here, still astride on Frostbeard. You see the crowds gather round and begin cheering your name and calling you the savior of Saints Crossing. You see that Natalia steps forward. She goes, Kilton, I know we only just got a chance to talk earlier today, but you have proved your worth. You and your friends here have shown that you are more than just upstanding citizens, but good and thoughtful people, protecting the children of not just Saints Crossing, but the neighboring communities as well. We appreciate and respect what you have done here, and risking your own life to protect others. Well, it is commendable. We at the Business Council have seen what you've done at the bank and what you have done here, and we have agreed that, well, with Tor's passing during the unfortunate events earlier today, his business will be no longer needed, and, well, I know you are not planning to stay here, but if you would like or accept it, then the deed to his shop is yours.
Oh, government handouts. Ugh, I guess I can settle for it. Yes, thank you. Happily.
Elbow killing in the
sure
thigh.
We can find somebody who wants to run a blacksmith in my stead while I travel along. And who knows, I'll come back at some point. You all have mail in this town, right? I can't be postman too, so just mail me my, I don't know, any money I get.
Well, that is, I'm sure something that you can arrange, but if you would like, we can sort it out that his business will be passed to your name, and if you're able to find someone to run it in your stead, or if you would like to settle here in Saints Crossing, you are always welcome.
He's got a son, right? I can make the kid a blacksmith.
He's dead.
Oh,
That's
fuck.
the one that got killed.
That's the one that got killed.
Oh, no.
The elbow killed him even harder in the thigh.
Retcon. The joke was going to be, I remembered the son didn't want to be a blacksmith and the dad was making him, and the joke was that I was just going to make him too, but then I forgot that was the one that died. It's been like a month, guys. Come on.
I know.
It has been a little bit, yeah.
The thought crosses my mind and I cringe and don't say anything out loud and just I'll find somebody for it. I'm not. Maybe I'll come back around and settle here, get the missus away from the war front and all that. Don't know the first thing about crafting though. I'll find somebody. Any of you lot know how to make nails?
Are you talking to
Anybody in the crowd.
We are going to a mining town shortly after this. Maybe we can find someone there.
Right.
Yes, we're going to the mining town that's also in this valley.
You know how to swing your hammer in one way, you know how to swing it anyway, right?
To remind the group, the mining town is where Ambrose is from, and his parents were the ones that did hire.
We're not going to a mining town.
We're not going to. We're going to send a strongly worded letter to his parents saying he's
Ambrose
alive.
probably
he's
is not
home.
inclined to return there if he doesn't have to. So.
Oh, does he want to be a blacksmith?
No, he wants to be an artist. That's why we're doing
That's
this.
a kind of artist.
They all want to fucking.
Do you want to do art with
They all want to join the
metal?
fairy circus, and we're letting them.
Right. I know that, but maybe the art he wants to make is nails and horseshoes.
I think we're not in the business of determining other people's destinies.
Yeah, and these guys have foisted a damn smithy on me. It sounds like they're in the business of it.
By the way, Kaspar did kind of get out of Dodge directly after everything.
Yeah,
Sure.
he's around.
All right. Tell you what, I'll take the deed and we'll figure out the details later. I'm going to
Perfect.
liquidate the place for the assets. I whispered to the others.
Well,
That's up to
despite the difficulties of the day, there are some who are gathering in the tavern to be together after the events of today. Maybe not a celebration, but at least a communal sharing of spirits. So if you're inclined to join, I think Lun is willing to set you up for an indefinite amount of time if you need lodging. And if you need anything else, simply ask myself or Norbert or someone else who cares.
Of course.
Can I check on Ambrose? How is the
Yes.
kid?
Hey, one of you get some food and drink for the kid, huh? And me and Mare and...
I can go over to Ambrose and look him over, check his wrists.
Yes, he is. You free him from the restraints that obviously probably did that immediately after. And he's in okay spirits. I mean, the tension of the moment has kind of passed. He's calmed himself. He's reunited with his friends. And, he's shaken. His friend Lorcan was killed earlier today. And then was getting abducted by Pardus. There was a lot going on. But he is in good spirits for the most part, all things considered.
We'll give him a hug if he wants it, but just I'm glad you're okay.
He hugs you back and he goes, "Thank you for saving me. I appreciate it. If I had to return to my parents, they would have shipped me off and I would never have got another chance at the life I want.
Where would they have shipped you off to?
Back home to Mahakam, where my family is from.
Oh,
My father is in charge of a number of mines out here, and the Bartok Barrow is the most recent that we joined, and, well, we traveled around a lot, but they probably would have sent me back to be with my grandparents where they could keep a closer eye on me at Mahakam.
well, you're not going back there. We'll make sure of it. As
Well, thank you.
as a bare minimum courtesy to your parents, I think we should send them a missive or a note, just saying that you were not killed.
I'll have
you are
Maeve help me
alive.
write something.
But-
She's good at words like that.
You do not have to return there, and don't thank me. I was next to useless in that skirmish, but definitely thank Mr. Kilton and Mr. Kaspar.
I thank you all. Without your help, well, I don't know what me and the rest of the troop, what would have happened. So, none of it happened how we wanted or planned, but I guess that's the way it goes.
Very rarely do things ever go the way we want them to, but we're trying our best to even the scales for you children.
Well, thank you. I think I was talking with the rest, and I think we should probably return to Oberhassel soon. With everything that happened here in Saints Crossing, I think we can probably send word to my parents and back to Riverbend. I don't know that I want to risk another situation like this with other towns.
That is a fair assessment. Fair assessment of the situation. I think it would do good for each of you who can write to write out a note in your own hand to your parents saying that you're alive and declaring your intentions. We'll make sure that those are delivered, but I do think it is time we sent you back to where you would like to be.
I agree. We'll have them written and ready by the morning.
All right. Well, let's get back to the tavern and have some lunch. It's been a trying morning.
Yes, indeed. You and the rest are able to return back to the Weary Traveler.
I don't know if it's morning. I don't know what time it is anymore.
It's probably like 3:30, 4-ish, and
Late
lunch.
It's
it's lunch, dinner, and sun's starting to dip a little bit low. You start to see people coming in from the fields and other places around town. Word is spread wildly of the attacks that have happened, and then this whole situation of the standoff in Main Street, and so work has kind of been canceled for the day. People are gathering at the tavern as they do to regale each other with stories of the attack, and speculate and share stories and rumors about the mysterious group that has come into town and has kind of been perceived as now the saviors of the day. So, and somebody did get the body of that cultist out of the bush eventually.
So they say,
Wow.
oh, fuck, we lost another victim. We forgot we got another one.
So, are you all going to you get some lunch? Lund covers all of your expenses for meals.
Hey.
I'll say you all are able to get a good meal. So if you want to add that bonus, you're able to have ale or wine or mead or whatever it is to your liking. And I will say,
I get
Kaspar,
a big fat bottle of wine.
what are you doing? And are you going back to the tavern as well? Because you are in a kind of specific situation where you have been hexed. So people perceive you here as part of this group. So they're not going to be outwardly hostile towards you, but they do hate you.
Sorry,
For magic
man.
reasons.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Kaspar
man.
is gonna go for a ride, probably on Pardus's horse, and just sort of, I don't know, go through the wilderness a little bit.
Absolutely. You're able to ride through kind of right outside of town, taking the horse. Go ahead and give me a riding check to see kind of.
Yeah, I guess not my horse, huh?
Yeah, you're just kind of getting a feel for
Not
this
your horse,
new
and you killed the
beast.
guy. Well, killed the guy.
19. Yeah, you're able to. This horse is used to maneuvering and riding, and it's outfitted with a basic saddle, nothing fancy, but it's got some saddlebags for some storage. You find just a couple of rations, that kind of thing, water bottles, nothing excessive. Pardus seemed to travel quite lightly, and you're able to make a quick connection with this animal. And let's see. What should this? I think the horse's name is Sigrid. You find engraved on the saddle, and you presume that is the horse's name, which it seems to respond to. Kaspar, you ride outside of town. You find a trail, a less traveled one than the main road. It seems to be maybe a hunting track or something like that. It's worn, but not, super recently. With the winter snows beginning to ease, you see you're starting to able to follow it a bit more easily through the forests, but clearly hasn't really been used too much this season. And you're able to ride and kind of lose yourself in the landscapes, the foothills and mountains here of the valley. We'll return to you in a moment. The rest of you, Opheia, you're still suffering from your wound a bit.
Yep.
And you see Weidman comes up to you at the, we'll say at the tavern. We don't have to necessarily go back over there. But he goes, I noticed that you are wounded. I am experienced in such things. If you'd like
Being
medicinal
wounded.
help, I could ease your pain.
Guy's got the worst bedside manner.
You're an apothecary?
I am a priest of Kreve. I help those who are in pain sometimes. It's not my specialty, but you're a special case, and, well, if you'd like, I could help you.
You're in luck. I trust unspecialized apothecaries over specialized doctors most days. This is one of those days.
Very well. Come with me to the Temple of Kreve.
Not
What?
yet.
Oh. Not now?
How am I paying you?
Oh, no payment is required, darling child. For the forces of Kreve, I don't know a lot about Krevian religion, actually. As a DM, I just know that it sees a god, but
Heard of it. Yeah.
so I'm not really sure what our deal is. I forgot to read up on that because I didn't think this guy was going to be important.
Creepy. Don't go with this guy. He's like a walking white van.
But you know that
Enough fun things happen this way.
I
It's
can
not
go
gonna
with
be-
her, so she's not alone in the abduction.
So this is one of the business council guys. He's like, the religious leader of the town, essentially. He's just a creepy old man. Like Opheia, you don't get necessarily like a bad impression. You think he's just like a weird old man who's a priest.
I have experience with weird old people. So
Yeah. So like he's got that vibe, like the death breath and like, the kind of pallid skin. Seems like, you're not really sure what his deal is, but as you know, all about Krevian religion, of course, he seems to uphold those beliefs. And if you would like, he will take you to the Temple of Kreve, where he has like his chambers, and he will be able to treat you some if you'd like.
Yeah, but I'll ask. Ask Mari if she's doing anything.
Just getting drunk. That's it. But I can put that off for a little while. Do you need something?
Well,
Look at this sketchy man that's next to her.
I was going to seek treatment at the Temple of Kreve, and before the king splintered off during the Novigradian Revolution 30 years ago, they made some excellent meads, so you might be able to get drunk there too.
Maybe. I'll come with you.
Excellent. The more the merrier, is what Kreve always says.
I would think Kaylin would think that make a check. Is that really what he says? But Mari doesn't care.
Yeah.
I also might need help not getting indoctrinated. They're a little
God,
cultish.
Kreve
You
isn't
are the
in the
least
stupid.
The least
They have a
difficult person.
sidebar.
You are the
So
least
I made
difficult
up some
person
facts just
to
now.
indoctrinate.
Yes,
Most
as the
most
sidebar of the Church of Kreve. Yes.
So he'll give us the explanation as we walk, because we're a captive audience. That's our payment for this.
Yes, of course, the unknown sky or thunder god that we worship will hear you. We're not sure which. He's up there somewhere, though.
Who art wherever.
Did the gods show up before or after the conjunction of the spheres?
That's a good question. I think it kind of depends. Didn't Melitele show up like after?
I think Melitele.
Like,
the only god I know is Melitele. Literally,
I think that's the original one, and then there's
Yeah,
like
she's the
the
OG,
Jesus
the
one that
Elves
showed
are
up.
Silverfill,
That's
yeah.
like the one book or whatever. That's okay. So yes, if you'd like, he will heal you, essentially stabilize your wounds. He's able to treat you with some medicinal salves and other alchemical things that he has prepared, and will stabilize your wound so that it is fully treated.
As fully as it can be. Can I
Yes.
let me know when I can put
I
HP
think,
back up.
yeah, let's see. So on the treated, where's the treated table? I think it's like your body times something is how many days it is, or I don't remember. Let's pull it up here.
It's on the let's see.
I keep scrolling too far. Okay. Where is it? So healing, as your critical wound has been treated, it must heal over time. Check your body stat and your wound level on the critical healing table to see how many days you'll need to get rid of it. So what's your body stat?
My body stat is 6.
Okay, and that was a difficult or deadly critical, so it'll take 9 days to fully heal.
Okay. I'm gonna make a note of that.
good thing you don't have to walk much more. You have a horse now.
All right. He heals you. You're able to return back. He's bandaged it up and cleaned it as best as his medicinal abilities allow. And you are able to return back to the inn with Opheia.
Can I?
Opheia and Mare are able to return.
We didn't even
Kilton is-
score any mead.
Can I ask Wademan what's become of the Pardus's body?
Oh, yes. Well, we've put it with the others. What? Yes. Sorry. Wrong old man voice. Yes.
I'd like to pay to have it interred or buried. I don't want it just thrown out.
Oh,
Or
we don't
cremated.
just throw the bodies away. We're
or composted or
much
whatever.
more civilized than that.
Whatever you do here.
Well, we generally just bury them with a ceremony to Kreve, the unidentified sky and or thunder god, and then, of course, we say some prayers, and if there's family there, we sometimes do a ceremony as well. But if you'd like, the body is interned out back with some of the other victims of the attack today.
I would like to pay for him to be buried above the common way. He's
Oh,
a
you want a
bastard, but he was
fancy burial, you say?
not a fancy burial, but a simple stone, an identifier that's not just a stick.
It's worth.
Cairn.
I think it's worth noting that the slain Witcher did not have many friends in life, as far as we can tell, but he did have.
He had a
one.
brother.
He may wish to attend the sending off.
When he comes back,
Of course. Well, we will be burying the body tomorrow morning. If you would like to attend, we can arrange that. Likely it will be not a well-attended event, but...
Understandable.
Yes. But I'll say probably 15 crowns would allow for at least above the standard burial is free. It's a service that we take on through charitable donations, but if you'd like a more elaborate headstone, they begin at about 15 crowns and go up from there.
Do a 15 crown headstone and give him Pardus. I know that his name is Pardus of Korath, right? And I'll
Yes, yeah.
give him that for the epitaph. I don't know when he was born.
You know when he died.
I know when he died, but I don't know when he was born, and I don't think Kaspar would either.
Well, I think a name is adequate, and, if you learn when he was born, then we can add that as well. Our engraver works quite quickly, at least with the basic materials, so...
Okay. I will hand him a small stack of 15 crowns.
Okay. All right.
I can't do math in my head. All right, there you go. All right. Feeling any better, Opheia?
I'm feeling as I don't think I'm ever going to be my same old self again. And I was never a particularly skilled druid to begin with.
Maybe it's trying to find ways that adapt to the situation you find yourself in. That's part of surviving. Adapting to what life throws at us.
I think you always assumed that I was at Oxenfurt to improve my craft, but I guess I was there to meet a elven acquaintance. We had an on and off again thing. I thought I might just pick up some knowledge while I was there, but
An acquaintance, you say?
this will be relevant later. But for now, I think I'm going to need help.
Well, you got it. From me, at least. I won't speak for the boys, but you've got help from me.
That means a lot. Thank you. But no, I'm not feeling much better. I don't think I'm going to be myself ever again. So I'll need to become something different, I suppose.
Well, we know Kilton's good with the hammer.
Frighteningly so. Maybe he should open up a smithy.
I have such low craft.
All right, Kilton. Meanwhile, in the tavern, you are showered with praise from the townsfolk and the villagers. You receive a medal that anoints you as a honorary member, sergeant of the town guard. You also receive the deed, which you're able to sign for the blacksmith shop and smithy, which above it has a small like apartment. So there's like a lodging there as well.
Oh.
And you are also plied with food and drink by all of the thankful townsfolk. Let's see. And Kaspar, we return to you riding Sigrid through the trails of the forest. You ride a little further in a different direction than you've been in your previous excursions. Riding up into the foothills a bit more, where the trees become a little less dense, but you still are kind of skirting the edge of the Mistwood and the whole valley here before kind of it, steeply rises up into the mountains. The cold air still kind of whips past you as you ride, and you come to a river crossing, a rushing spring torrent fed by the melting snowmelt, and you see across the river that the trail has kind of washed out here, and across the river you see. Well, go ahead and give us an awareness check to see what you see.
Oh.
What do your cat eyes see?
Yes, what do your cat eyes see? Oh my
They're
goodness.
taking the Hobbit's
Nice.
Isengard. They're taking the Hobbit's Isengard. God.
Incredible. You pull Sigrid to a stop as you reach the edge of this rushing torrent that is filling its banks and has washed out this section of trail. And you note across the river, you see that the trail continues onwards and winds in and out of the trees, but just across the river, you notice the figure or form of a stag stepping out from the bushes, the shrubbery, nibbling at some grass. And with your incredible 33, you recognize some of the markings on it and realize that it is the same stag that you had seen prior when you had found yourself in a glade near the Mistwood. And as with a 33, you also see that it comes to a halt after stepping out into a clearing of light, and it, nibbling grass, looks up and locks eyes with you in a very unnatural way that animals like that don't tend to usually do.
Well,
Hail, stag. Seems that we've crossed paths again.
It seems to almost bow its head in acknowledgement.
Odd thing, aren't you? Wish that I were a stag. And just walk through the woods and eventually die to a bear, hunter, or maybe just disappear into the woods one day.
Its ears twitch as though in acknowledgement of what you say.
Well, at least it seems not all living things hate me right now.
It moves a bit closer towards the edge of the river. You're now probably maybe 20 or 30 yards or meters from it across this. It's not really a full river. It's more of like a flood, raging creek.
Do I have like any bread on me? Like just kind of in the rations? Is there like bread and stuff?
You do find in Sigrid's saddlebag some dried bread and other basic rations that Pardus was carrying.
Whoa. I'll dismount off of Secret and just kind of crouch down and toss some bread kind of by the stag.
It looks up at you, kind of undeterred by this action. The bread lands, in the grass next to it. It kind of turns and looks at you and looks at the bread and nibbles at the bread a little bit before, eating a bit more. Then kind of turns and sips from the side of the creek in a little pool that is formed.
Handsome beast. Should probably return and get this hex removed, right? I wish I had anyone that I knew before.
The stag's head raises. You see its ears kind of more alert, twitch a bit. It turns kind of once again to you and kind of almost stares, locks eyes with you. Its ears kind of twitching a little bit. It kind of lowers its head, almost bowing in a way to you. It's like front legs almost kind of dipping a bit as well before its ears twitch, it looks around and then bounds away into the underbrush, crashing through some of the shrubs and then disappearing into the distance, back towards the mistwood.
Special deer.
What do you think, Secret? Should I follow it?
The horse kind of very dumbly kind of just like tries to like lead you towards some like seems to be I don't know, some poison oak or something that it wants to eat. That's
Aye, aye, aye.
Mm.
It's perfectly good grass over here.
it wants to eat anything but the nice, tasty, fresh spring grass.
Typical horse behavior.
All right. Can I see where the stag went?
Yeah, I'll say with your 33, like it kind of went back roughly the way it came, deeper into the mistwood. So you're kind of like on the edge of the valley here, and it went back, kind of following downhill with the stream through the brush. You lost sight of it fairly quickly, but I mean, you could probably track it if you really wanted to.
No, I'll leave it for now. All right. Well. Come on, horse. Secret, I guess. Not used to having a horse with a name. Come on. I'll mount again and start heading back towards the town.
All right. Takes a little while, but you follow the trail and find your way back without issue.